Oh, Lodolo leaves. Michael Soroka leaves. He's injured. We'll get to that in a moment. But the Cubs still down 3-2. It's the bottom of the seventh. Willie Castro is on third base. Willie Castro played center field last night. PCA got his day off that Dustin was clamoring for because he looked tired. Yeah, he did kind of. Well, he was supposed to be off.
See, but that he didn't get a night off.
But he got a night off because it was a tough lefty. When the tough lefty left, you have to put PCA in because you want the left-handed bat against the righty. I got the logic. But the day began with the idea of giving PCA the night off, right?
Right.
So nonetheless, Willie Castro's on third base. Dansby Swanson hits a ground ball to third base. And then he runs fast. Dansby Swanson's got some good, sneaky, good speed. And he's running down the line, and it looks like he's safe. And this is how it sounded.
And the pitch. Swinging a big bounce to the third. That's going to be a fair ball. Brian Hayes throws to first. Not in time. Ball game is tied. Swanson beats it out. It's a base hit. Hayes gloving that ball. His momentum took him into foul territory. He had to make that long off-balance throw, Ron, and it was too late.
Yeah, it's a tough play for Hayes at third on this chopper. He's got to catch this ball and then navigate not to step on the third base bag. So he goes right over the top of it. That takes him one extra step. And when you take that extra step, that gives Dansby a chance to beat this play. Great hustle by Dansby. The other thing about that, when you roll over a ground ball, you get out of the box much faster. Dansby beats this by quite a bit. This is going to be a quick review.
Although, Ron, when he stepped, he was shy of the bag.
Oh, my.
I don't know if he's going to be safe. Dansby's foot was on the ground in front of the bag. I don't think his foot was on the bag.
The runner missed first base. The call on the field is overturned.
He is going to be called out for not being on the bag.
Oh, my.
Oh, my.
So maybe the Cubs would have blown the lead anyway. Maybe they, who knows what would have happened. But we were prevented from having a tie game because Dansby Swanson missed the bag.
Oh, my.
This was Dansby Swanson's explanation of him missing the bag.
I felt like I was a little bit short. I didn't think I was as short as the replay was. I know I touched it at some point. I just didn't know when in the process. Yeah, I don't know if I've ever done that in my baseball life, to be honest. So just pretty unfortunate timing on the night. It's just some more natural instincts. But yeah, I guess that, it's a little too late. It's just, like I said, unfortunate timing and point in the game for that to happen.
The most painful thing was watching the game on television as I was synced up with the radio and seeing the run after the score said 3-3, taking away the 3 and making it a 2 again. 3-2 Reds. And that was a difference. They never scored again.
It was ugly. And I think it's sort of one of those freak mental errors is sort of there's no other explanation. There's no other explanation.
Who are you mad at? Who do you get mad at in a situation like that? Anybody? Is it just something you accept? Is this because he's running so fast you don't know where your feet are? I don't know.
How many times has Dansby Swanson run to first base in his career?
Oh my gosh.
Like millions. I mean, probably not millions, but
yeah, thousands.
Thousands of times.
Thousands of times.
Like speechless. I don't know. It's something you don't want to happen.
He was going so fast that he just missed the front of the bag. And when you look at the replay, the call was right. He didn't touch first base. So the umps had no other choice. And you can hear during that highlight in the review as Pat and Ron are talking, the fans start to boo when the challenge was announced. But if you're Terry Francona, you're absolutely challenging that call.
Great eyes. I mean, great call to challenge it.
So Willie Castro's run did not count. Dansby Swanson called out because he didn't touch first base. You want to be mad at somebody, but I don't know if it's right to be mad at Dansby Swanson.
Right.
If you want to argue, too, I mean, take away that. I mean, he scored the 2 runs.
I know. He hit the homer. He did. He hit the homer.
And that's why that
yes.
softens it a
Absolutely.
bit. They had 3 whole hits last night. That would have been the 4th hit, and he would have had half of them. in the batting from the ace spot. What did the $500 million man do? Kyle Tucker.
Well, he walked.
Oh,
got on base.
Oh my.
Oh my.
Oh my.
The first 4 hitters in the Cub order were 0 for 14.
Still like Nico up at the top?
Yes, I do like Nico at the top.
Okay, just checking.
Come on, why is that on Nico? I mean, it's not Nico's fault that Dansby Swanson missed first.
It's not Nico's fault that he was 0 for 4?
It's
Oh my.
yes, but it's not. They still were in that game. All things aside, the top of the order not producing. If Dansby Swanson kicks the front of the base, he's safe, and he may have come around and scored because Nico might have driven him in.
I mean, and then Michael Bush, on top of Michael Bush gets put in. They take Turner out because of the lefty righty thing, right? It just
there's no problem with that.
very frustrating.
There's no problem with that.
That he goes into the game? No, of course. Maybe he should have been in the game from Jump Street.
Lefty,
right?
Lefty. Plus Justin Turner coming off a big game-winning walk-off
Give
home
him
run.
a little reward there.
Yeah,
We'll get you in the game.
Reward the Big Red. Came on the score at noon.
Great interview, by the way. Really fun.
It was fun. His wife's a big Bears fan.
Yeah.
And
The name of her fantasy football team.
the league.
I was surprised we actually heard that.
Same.
But we
It was
did.
great.
Justin Turner, though, was back in the lineup, and I think that I understood that. I understood why I suppose PCA was given the night off, but I don't know that I would have done that. He still came in the game. I'm still trying to get past the whole Dansby Swanson thing, but okay. If it is just a mistake, and they would not have been in the game if he would not have homered. So I guess you give him some grace there. That was bad. This was worse. Michael Soroka makes his first start for the Cubs on his 28th birthday. And his birthday, frankly, could not have gone worse. Happy birthday, Michael Soroka. This is what you get for your birthday. A trip to the IL.
Oh my.
A trip to the MRI machine. And a freak. Is it a freak injury? So he leaves after the second inning, and he strikes out the side in the first. And you're thinking, whoa, man, Cubs might be onto something here. But he leaves, and he has shoulder tightness. What did you think when he was brought out of the game, and what went through your mind first?
It's bad. That's what went through my mind. I was like, this is more frustrating for everyone who was frustrated at the trade deadline and for the lack of what happened. This is just the cherry on top.
Now, he pitched 2 innings. He did give up a home run. He also struck out the side in the first, but he left after making 31 pitches. And after his 31st pitch, he felt something tighten up in his shoulder. And this is something that, if you find out, as we would find out afterward, he hadn't dealt with in Washington, but his velocity was down with the Nationals. And it was down to the extent that they did a medical exam, I think in the past month, that the Cubs apparently were aware of before they traded for him. And there was nothing to see there. The velocity was down, and they traded for him anyway. And he was the guy that was obviously replaced Ben Brown in the rotation. Ben Brown replaced Soroka on the mound last night.
Ben Brown, unsung hero, I would say.
4 innings, 5 strikeouts, 2 hits and a run. I think that's pretty solid.
Pretty solid to come in that situation.
Especially if he wasn't expected to play in the first place and pitch in the first place. Although he might have been expecting, with Soroka on the mound, maybe some an
just
appearance.
Be ready.
Yeah, be ready. Maybe not be ready in the third inning.
Right.
But Michael Soroka, I think when he leaves and they say immediately he's going on the injured list to find out exactly what's wrong, you can hear the concern in Craig Counsell's voice.
He had some right shoulder discomfort. Just said he let a pitch go in the second inning and just didn't feel good. Finished the inning, but came in the dugout and said he shoulder was not feeling good. So it's an IL, and we'll we'll see what the next steps are.
The next steps are unlikely to be, well, okay, here's 15 days off. Let's put you back in the rotation. It just seems like it's August 5th. And you wonder what meaningful contribution somebody who leaves the game after 2 innings with shoulder discomfort, a new player in your pitching staff, what meaningful contribution he will be able to make down the stretch.
It's concerning because there were many who were hoping this Cubs front office would add a top of the rotation contributor, if not an ace, someone that can be an ace B. It's like 1A, 1B.
Yeah, 1A and 1B.
1A, 1B.
You wanted a compliment to Matthew Boyd.
Not only do you not even potentially add an ace or a 1B to your rotation, you now have potentially nothing. Unless Jameson Taillon comes back and can contribute, which I think is the big question mark. But that's not a move that you made at the trade deadline. That's just...
The move you make at the trade deadline, the players that you add are supposed to create excitement. It's supposed to be exciting and not deflating. And Michael Soroka, regardless of how you felt about his arrival and what they should have done instead of getting him from the Nationals, he was on the mound. They plugged him in after the first inning. You were encouraged and like, well, okay, this might be fine.
Yeah.
Gives up a homer, but you're still like, okay, this might be fine. But this isn't fine because now he is facing a season of uncertainty, the rest of the season full of uncertainty. And you feel for the young man because he's a really good teammate. People know him from the White Sox experience. Is a good guy to have in the clubhouse. Dansby Swanson was his teammate in Atlanta, and certainly somebody that you think it could be an asset to any pitching staff. But now he sounded like a guy who just felt as bad as you did watching it all unfold.
Obviously, you're always concerned when you have to come out of a game. It's never fun and it's embarrassing. It's something that you come to this org and you hope to hit the ground running, and 2 innings later we're having to pull the plug. So obviously it's concerning, but there is hope that it's something that can be taken care of fairly quickly, and hopefully we'll be back out there in some respect some point soon.
It just seems hard to fathom that we're going to find out some good news over the next 2 weeks. As he's on the IL, they're going to say, well, we don't see anything structurally wrong here. Let's bring you back. And his velocity is going to go back up. Mm-hmm. Just seems like a lot to believe in that would not be. It's hard to count on anything now.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but for Craig Counsell to come out post-game and say he's going to the IL, boom, done, rather than we're going to see how it feels tomorrow. We're going to get some more tests. We'll see.
That was definitive. I think you're right. I was surprised they were that definitive.
That felt, they know right now that he needs.
You wonder if they felt something.
Off.
They wonder if they sensed something. Yeah, and I do wonder what they fear. Rotator cuff, because it's a shoulder. If it were the forearm, you'd start to think Tommy John. All of these kinds of cues that we're used to seeing and hearing about. But I agree with you. When they said that already he was going on the injured list, I thought that was a pretty fast determination.
Agreed.
So the Cubs lose to the Reds. We'll talk about the implications and what that means for the staff. They are still 3 games behind the Brewers, yes, but also the second best team in baseball. That is true. When you look at the standings, maybe it's because of parity or whatever the case may be, the Cubs remain the second best team in baseball. The team that you look at and disappointed you last night has been a disappointment since the All-Star break, and all the things you could say about the Cubs, okay. But they're not in terrible shape.
And that's why what happened at the early part of the season and the hot start and the way they played before the All-Star break matters. And you build yourself a cushion so that if and when you go through slumps, such as the one now, you can survive and sustain it. And I'll say this, I mean, you want to be hot going into the postseason. So if your slump is coming now, this might be a good time to have a little slump.
Well, if you're going to pick a time, early August is a better time to slump than early September.
Right.
So, yeah, I would agree with that. And you have Shota Imanaga on the mound tonight and Cade Horton, stopper, on the mound tomorrow.